Hey guys, before the video begins, I just want to give another reminder about the Manga Cage Awards. You can now submit your nominees, so we're not voting yet, but for this next about a week until December 7th, you'll be able to reply to the community post, which I will link in the comments and in the description. It's all over the place, you can't miss it. And you can look through all the categories that will be in the award show this year, and you could submit all your nominees, multiple nominees for each category, whatever you want to do, and I'll tally up the most common or most passionate arguments for why they should be included, make the full list, and voting will begin sometime after December 7th and last until January. So please go ahead and submit your nominees before December 7th hits. It's going to be a really fun time, and you definitely want to take part in this. Hey. Alright everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 1. And again, this is Shueisha Shonen Jump shit. It's not 2026, I know that, but we are in 2026 in Shueisha's eyes. And to kick off this new year of Jump, we have two series taking the cover. It's like a shared cover. It's Ichi the Witch and Kagurabachi, which is so cool. I love this cover. It looks amazing. Their color schemes complement each other so well. I mean, it's literally like the same color scheme, but it works really, really well together. It looks so clean. I love it. Makes a lot of sense for these two to be on the cover to debut the year because, I mean, these are their big like cash cows right now. These are the ones that they want everybody's eyes to be on heading into a new year. Other than that, though, nothing too notable to talk about in regards to news in this issue. So I think we're ready to just dive into the magazine. Let's check it out. Ichi the Witch, Chapter 61, Vitals. First of all, I love this color page a lot. It's so cool to see like all the current antagonists, villains. I still don't know what to call Roro exactly because his role could end up being anything, but still, I would say an antagonistic force currently. But it's cool to see them all together. I love this a lot, especially Kiyoshi in the background, just being his weird ass self. And speaking of Kiyoshi, in the chapter itself, I think he's fantastic in this chapter. He's really showcasing his personality in a great way. I love his little moment here of imagining what we now know as the reverser magic. I think it's reverser, right? Was that it? Something like that. Anyway, what he was saying about how Uroro will probably befriend him after he kills Ichi. I love that little image there. It's so funny. He's a very, very good addition to the story. I really enjoy him a lot. Beyond that, really cool stuff here. Obviously, Discaris is getting to shine once again, always. Anytime she gets an action scene, it's always incredible like this, and this is no exception. One of her best moments, but that's like, she always tops herself, you know, anytime she gets a moment, it's always better than the last, so that's just how it be. Another fantastic chapter. Again, I've said it before, but Ichi's on a hot streak. It's just killing it all the time. It's always killing it. It's always on a hot streak. It's been on a hot streak since it started. Literally, it's just that good. Amazing chapter. Can't wait for more. Kagurabachi Chapter 103, Healing. I understand why they wouldn't want two color pages back to back, but it feels really weird to have a series on the cover of the magazine but not have a color page within it. Whatever though, it's fine. I think it has a color page next week if I'm not mistaken, so it'll be fine. But anyways, chapter itself, really good. It's just continuing the fight. It's, you know, it's always a struggle for me to find something unique to say about a fight chapter, but really cool action. Love it. Love this panel in particular. I always love a cool, like, you know, behind a guy entrance where they're not seeing it coming. And they're really hyping this up as like a big climactic moment. Like, this is it. But I really doubt this is the end of the fight. It would be kind of cool, and I would respect the hell out of it if this was just like a short fight. Like, they were just so prepared to handle this that they just get it done. But definitely not. This is definitely going to continue for several more chapters, I have to imagine. There's no shot that this is a shorter fight than the Samura fight from just a couple months ago or a few months ago. I live for this shit in Kagurabachi. It's so cool. I love Chihiro fighting is just so sick. Same with Samura, honestly. And I love, you know, we spent so much time watching the two of them fight each other, and now it's cool to see them fight together. Super satisfying. One Piece Chapter 1167, Ida's Sons. Before I talk about Shanks, let me talk about the Loki stuff first, the giant stuff. It's not really just Loki, just all the stuff surrounding that one moment that I'm sure is going to be the only thing people talk about in this 17-page chapter. But I really love all this stuff that's happening with Harold. It's really, clicking a bunch of pieces into place, a bunch of questions being answered about the status of the Giants and how they ended up where they are in the modern time. Really enjoying Harold as a character so far. It's nice to actually be back with him after spending however long that was, like damn near 2 volumes worth of chapters away from him and Loki. But really good stuff. Ida is another character that's succumbing to Oda mom death illness. So that's unfortunate, but it'll do the same thing I guess it does for any other character, in that it'll help develop them further. Yes, they're being fridged, but well, you know what? Oda just loves fridging women. It's just how it goes, I guess. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm enjoying it still, and I'm just happy to be back with the Giants. All right, Shanks. Saint Shanks. I don't know. I don't know what people are saying about this online. I can take guesses because people love to throw around like, oh, Shanks the rat, Shanks evil villain mastermind. No. This is a red herring. 100%. He's undercover or something. If you remember, Roger had last words to Shanks before he was executed. This is something we saw in the Odin flashback. And I have to imagine, honestly, he probably told him his lineage. He probably told Shanks about this. And I bet whether Roger told him to or whether he just decided to do this on his own, he definitely has an ulterior motive here to just get valuable intel out of the world government because of his status. He has a golden opportunity here. And the fact that he even got it is actually insane. I cannot believe the world government would let him in like this far just because he's a relative of Garling. But it happened, I guess, unless they're also playing him like a fool. I don't know. This is something we'll have to figure out way later down the line once we get more like Shanks' backstory. Really cool stuff. I like this chapter overall. I know that people are only going to be talking about this Shanks thing. At least probably. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too pessimistic about the One Piece community, but it just screams massive red herring. Oda is just putting this in here to mess with all of us. And there is so much of Shanks' life we don't know about. It's not surprising, really, that he was just on a huge side quest for I don't know, a certain amount of years while he wasn't being a pirate. Yeah, overall, amazing chapter. I loved it. Shinobi Undercover Chapter 60, Squad Number 7. Okay, not a whole lot to say about this one. Unfortunately, I'm kind of getting fight fatigue from this series. I'm really tired of action. Every time we enter like a slice of life chapter, I'm always like, all right, here we go, finally we're getting a break. And then it's just like one chapter and then we're back to this. It's a little exhausting. The loop of this series is kind of weighing on me, I gotta be honest. I'm really just not feeling this right now, especially training fights. They love to do training fights, and this is... ugh. I'm not going to say this is as bad as Joint Training from My Hero, but it really is like a whole series so far of joint training arcs, and then we had like one actual serious conflict so far. It's like they're preparing for nothing. Like we only learned that there were stakes a couple chapters ago. I don't know, whatever. It's a nitpick ultimately, because I'm sure eventually I'll come back around to this, but as of right now, not really feeling where this story is at. I think getting our boys their Kekais will be cool, because I mean that's a good natural plot progression, makes sense, should happen, yeah. But I don't really care to see the process of getting it, to be honest. I'm a little worn out from all this. I kind of just wish we'd take a break. But that doesn't seem to be likely anymore. It seems we've moved past the slice of life days of this series and we've gone into full shonen battle manga. It's a shame, but hey, still good. I still like this series, but this chapter just didn't really do a whole lot for me. Akane-banashi Chapter 185, Coldness. So obviously I was really excited for Kaise's performance, but I did not expect it to be this good. This is really, really good stuff. I love his whole backstory. We don't get like the whole backstory per se, but we get enough. This might be all we get. It's good enough for me, I think. We might get a little more. I feel like it was kind of teasing a little bit more at the end, but whatever, we'll see. Regardless, this performance. Wow. you know, talked about it 1,000 times, but Akane-banashi, with its performances, says so many things about a character in just a single performance, and it is remarkable in this case. It's almost like he's like this performance is about himself. That's what it feels like, even though this is an old ass story from however many hundreds of years ago, probably. And that coldness is so cool. The way it's presented, the way like the audience feels like suffocated by it. Amazing stuff. I love this. It definitely feels like a character who was taught by Isho. The purpose of all this seems to be to solidify Isho as a demon, as like the big bad. Like this is making him look really bad, especially at the end. You know, that coldness. But at the same time, he's just trying to teach this incredibly complex thing to somebody just very harshly. So in some ways you can understand why he would be the way he is, but it's still like, this guy's just built different. But all in all, incredibly effective chapter. I think this is perfect for like a first chapter in a performance. It's about as good as you can get. Can't wait to see the rest of it. So good.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto Days, chapter 239, Tinderbox. Not a whole lot to note here. I think we're really gearing up for like the climax because we have like all the fights set up here. It's great to see Nagumo and Oki again, finally. It's nice to know that they weren't forgotten. Hopefully we're going to see more of that soon, but yeah, that end page of just seeing all the different fights happening around the city. Sheen starting his own fight, and obviously ending on Sakamoto. We're close. This is gearing up for the end. This will probably be over within the first couple months of next year, honestly. I don't think we have a whole lot left. Just gotta get through these fights and then the big Sakamoto and Uzuki fight, and then we're done pretty much. Pretty good chapter though. Nothing super huge to chew on, but I liked it. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 13, Acceptance. This was amazing. I really love the tension building in this chapter. We basically get to see everything I wanted to after what happened last chapter. We see the fallout. It's a brief flashback of it, but it's pretty much all you need to see. Just a very effective use of page time, I think. We got everything we needed to out of this, and the gradual building of tension was super well done. Also, you know, just a little cameo. Nothing really to talk about from it, but it is nice to see Nobara again. I thought that was cool. We don't really see her. We just kind of get the vague shape of her with an eye patch. She has a cat. That's cool. We do learn that, in fact, Yuji can't age. So I was right about that. Who knows like how long it's been like that? Maybe like, does he still look exactly the same as he did as a teenager? Maybe. I don't really know. Of course, ending off with Yuka now, looking very much like Yuta. Like, holy shit. When I flip the page, because I read here, like I'll show you, I read like, you know, the 2 pages back to back like that. So when I flipped the page to that, I looked over real quick and I was like, what the hell, Yuta? Are we getting like a flashback? But no, that's Yuka. It just really, really looks like Yuta. Which, I mean, obviously makes sense, but like, wow. That's him. This is bound to go poorly. Low-key death flags? Even though I was thinking like she'd get cured of her cancer, but it's not cancer, whatever it was, the tumor, and she'd be fine. But now I'm thinking she's actually going to die in combat. Unless she's saved. Let's see. Maybe Yuji will have like a save the day hero moment. But I don't know. I really don't know. And why her is my question. Why is she the one being picked? I feel like there should be better choices. I don't know. This is very, very interesting though. I really, really loved this chapter all around. Just, you could really feel the stakes rising and the tensions brewing. It feels so like natural and real too. It's very expertly done. So fantastic chapter. Really, really love this one. Me and Roboco, chapter 260, Roboco and You Could Say. Not bad. I thought this was a pretty funny joke all around, just like trying to land a one-liner throughout multiple dumb circumstances. I thought it was funny. Not the greatest chapter in the world, but it was a pretty funny idea, I thought. Nothing too interesting or funny to note from it, but I did have a good enough time reading it, I suppose. I didn't really think the ending landed all that well. Kind of dropped the ball on the punchline, but hey, it was a fun journey getting there. Someone Hertz Chapter 12, Sense of Connection. I really liked this one. This was super cute. The whole idea of just sending in a postcard. Again, this is something I've said quite a few times in regards to this series, but it's just a simple concept. It's so simple, but this mangaka makes a very entertaining and sweet chapter out of the most simple concept in the world. Literally just sending a postcard is the whole crux of this chapter. And it's such a good chapter. That's so impressive. I'm also a really big fan of like anytime we get to see inside like the recording studio of Munmid, and that moment of, you know, even though they don't read Mime's jokes this time, they do have a little moment internally of seeing the little note he wrote at the bottom, just thanking them and smiling about it, which I think is cute. And in some ways I can relate to it, you know, being a podcast co-host. Getting things like that is always nice to see, but obviously these guys are probably a whole lot bigger than my podcast. But still, hey, I get it. I can relate. Super cool, super cute chapter. Loved it. The Mage Next Door, Chapter 5, Osoegawa versus the Shopping District. You know what, man? I love this chapter. This is the best one yet, by far. It was just really good. I like this concept a lot of, you know, real mages meeting fake mages, and they have a whole back and forth throughout the entire chapter until the very end. I love that. That's such a fun idea. If this is what this series is like, it's just cool, fun ideas, it doesn't ever take itself too seriously, then I'm all on board. I would honestly hate to see this series get like really serious at some point, which it could happen, but I feel like it'll kind of, if you guys have ever read Mashal, I feel like it'll end up being, well, this is very much like Mashal already, but it'll probably tonally be like that, where there is a serious plot happening, but the characters themselves don't really take it seriously. So it's still funny. That's what I see happening. Vibe-wise, amazing. Concept-wise, really great. This was such a fun idea for a chapter. Really, really love this one. Witch Watch Chapter 227, The Insider. Basically, this chapter is all about extending the story. I was thinking before we were kind of on a fast track to the end, but now we've kind of introduced like a side quest. It's not really a side quest, it's still important, very, very important, but it's just like another thing in our way before big climax. And I'm glad this is happening, actually, because, and also just the fact that this is going to take place on a cruise ship. We're going to have a cruise ship arc, which will likely be fun times and also serious stuff trying to get this bone. And I think that's really smart. It gives the series a way to have some more cool, fun moments while still progressing the serious plot that is now started. I think this is a really smart idea. It's probably going to be a lot of fun to read week to week. It'd be a shame if it takes itself completely seriously, but I do not see that happening. I feel like a cruise ship setting is just prime for fun times with this cast. So I'm really excited about this. I think this will be a good one. Not what I was expecting at all, but I'm glad that we're going in this direction for sure. Good chapter though. It was just a lot of talking and info dumping, but I'm excited for the future because of it. So it did its job. Hero and Demon Lord Call It Quits, Chapter 4, The Hero versus Subspace. This one didn't do a whole lot for me. I thought it was fine. I hate to be like so, I guess I'm not being harsh, but I hate to be this way about a chapter that's so harmless. Like, this isn't bad. It's just not really, I don't know. It's fine. Like, whatever. I have nothing to say about it, to be honest. It was fine. I don't know. The idea wasn't super entertaining to me, but I mean, hey, I like these characters. They're fun. This one just wasn't anything to write home about. I thought last chapter was a hell of a lot better. What can you do? It happens.
Feel the power of my magic!
Elusive Samurai, Chapter 229, Children, 1353. I don't know. Another weird-ass chapter for this series, dude. I'm just not feeling it. I'm just riding this one out till it's over. I don't know. It's just so bizarre, its presentation, and it's always been that way, but it feels especially the case now. I just don't like it. It's so fucking weird. Whatever. I gotta rock and roll with it, I suppose. I see how it ends, but this chapter did nothing for me. I thought it was pretty boring and rough and frustrating in many regards. Not for me. Not for me. Maybe it'll get better as we get towards the conclusion, which is hopefully pretty soon. I'm hoping we don't have too much longer left because I'm already starting to feel like it's overstaying its welcome, to be honest. I don't really think all of this stuff is necessary, but maybe I'll feel differently after it's over. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but that's where my head's at right now, at least.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Gonron Egg Chapter 6, Forest of People. I don't know, man. This was another rough one. I will say the art is a little better, I think. Like, minimally better. I think, well, okay. Here's what's happening. I think there is a little more unity with the background art and the character art. It's blending a lot more. I don't know if this means the mangaka themselves are drawing the backgrounds more, but I felt more of a connection between the background and the foreground, which is good. It's an improvement. It helps. It goes a long way. But story-wise, man, I don't know. I just don't care. I got nothing out of this. It's just a lot of talking about nothing that I care about, and it feels like the plot really didn't even move this chapter, which is really bizarre. Like it did, but it didn't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the series wants to be. I can't wrap my head around it. It's just really aimless and weird. The first TOC ranking is coming up soon. What do you guys think? Any predictions on where it's going to land? I'm thinking pretty low, given the general response that I've seen to this across the internet. We'll see.
What are you doing, step bro?
Anyways, Exorcist Chapter 124, Power Identified. Oh my god, brother. What? What the fuck? It was really nice last week not having Nue in the magazine. I hated this chapter. What the hell are we doing? What is this shit? How do you like this? How can somebody like this? I don't get it. I can't understand it, man. It blows my mind every week, this series. What is this? What the fuck is this? What am I reading? What am I looking at? Who cares about this? Who wants to read this? I wish I could understand what this series was going for. I guess people have informed me, yeah, like visual novel. Like, okay, yes, this is like inspired by visual novel, plot progression and all that, whatever. I don't read visual novels. I don't really care. Maybe this is like the greatest thing since sliced bread if you are a visual novel fan, but I'm not. And I think this is awful. I think the series is abysmally bad, and the fact that it has lasted 122 chapters is actually mind-blowing to me. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing here. The few times I've enjoyed this series is when it hard focused on like the shonen battle aspect, and even then I found myself like laughing at it sometimes because of how it's trying to take itself seriously despite never doing that before. It's a bunch of nonsense, and then it decides to get serious sometimes, and it doesn't work for me. I guess it works for other people, and that's enough to keep their interest, but it doesn't work for me. I think literally every aspect of this series is awful. Sorry, this is what happens, I guess, whenever I have a week off. I come back on it harder than ever, but I'll calm down again. I just I had to let that out. Sorry to the fans, but I don't know. I got nothing for you this week. I'm way too hard on it right now. I have nothing good to say. Hima-Ten, Chapter 69. Content. Whoa. Okay. Alright. Okay, Hima-Ten. I see you. Got moves. Got big moves. Crazy big moves. The biggest moves we've seen yet. This is a confession. And a kiss. Not on the lips, but wow. Kana's the first to do it, huh? Makes sense. She's been getting a lot of love lately. A lot of screen time, a lot of development. And this is the culmination. She's the first. Huh. Where's this gonna go? This is crazy. I'm like on the edge of my seat. I'm like, okay, wow. Like, are we getting somewhere? there's no way she's gonna like win. Which if you don't read like romance stories, often winning is, you know, get the guy. That's what people say in conversation about this. You probably know this. I don't even know why I'm bothering explaining this. Anyways, I really don't think she'll end up winning in the end, but this is I mean, this is like clear classic bait and switch. Like it's gonna be it's the iconic thing. Like one girl moves like way up the ladder, then she'll fall back down, and then the others will catch up, and then it just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. That's how these series work. But still, a moment like this is exciting to see because this is a huge development. We're getting somewhere, you know, like this is major stuff in a series like this, at least. So we end without seeing the aftermath, but I'm very curious to see how Iemori responds to this. This could be big. This changes everything. This could change dynamics. Let's wait and see. Good chapter though, really good chapter. I was pretty impressed by it. Blue Box Chapter 221, I'll see you when you're done. All right, it's time for my little romance sports series to become a sports series again. It's, you know, it happens. I'm excited about it though. This is good stuff. And Kyo fans, we are eating good. We're back. This is it. This feels very like all the pieces are in play for Kyo's story to kind of come to a head here. My favorite moment here, before I talk about the last page, is him getting like the little bag of cookies and one is shaped like his head. And then he looks around and is like, does everybody have this? I love that. I love Kyo so much. He's so funny. But, okay. Saki. There she is. This means climax is coming. We're going to figure this all out. And obviously, Ayame is going to get with him. No shit. Writing's been on the wall for like a year. To be able to see this finally come to a head is exciting. And I love that we're getting this in addition to the upcoming Taiki versus Kyo game. This will make for a really entertaining set of chapters. I'm super excited about it. Blue Box is killing it lately. Keep it going. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 71, One Kiyoshi Against 1,000. It's a really exciting chapter title, and it paid off. I think it was really cool. It kind of did amount to like Kiyoshi just like spamming different big attacks, like 4 pages in a row. It was kind of funny to just keep flipping the page, and it was like, oh, here's a new like big blast attack. But it was cool. He got to look like a badass, and I love that. And ending with, you know, the demon from Chapter 1 saving him. I've been waiting for a moment like that between the two of them. This guy shows up every now and again, but I've been waiting for him to return the favor, like in a big way like this. And it's cool to finally see that now. Really cool chapter, even if it just was kind of Kiyoshi shooting out huge blasts for 4 pages, but I liked it. It was really sick. Good stuff. Very low on the TOC, but again, who cares? This series is all over the place. It'll be back up to like the middle next week. It'll never reach like top 5 or even probably top 10, but it'll hang around bottom of the middle, right in the middle range. It's fine. It's not going anywhere. I really don't think so. It could. If it did get axed, I mean, there's a pretty easy out to end, but I would kind of hate for that to happen. We're fine though. We're chilling. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's a baseball!
Harukaze Mound, Chapter 24, Sweet Dream. Not a bad chapter at all, but axe vibes are still strong. I liked this though. It was very fast, you know, it was basically just, we're building up to another game. It's so weird because we just had our first game, obviously it was all off-screen. But why did we structure it that way? Like, why couldn't we see the whole first game? If we're doing, like this is being presented as the real first game, like there's all this build-up and hype, but this is the second game. I think we should have seen the team's first game, no matter who the hell they were playing. I don't care if it was some random ass team, like it literally was. Let's see it. That's important. That's a very important moment. Like, yeah, here, this is their first big game, but last one was still their first game. I don't know. I think it would have been worth seeing. Regardless, though, this is really the series' time to prove itself, unless it already got the Axe notification and it's on the way out. But this is where it can win some people over if it's not already one foot in the grave, because this is it. This is going to be a real full game. I think we're going to get multiple chapters of this. I hope, please don't let me down again. and we'll get to see this series truly shine. So I'm excited for next chapter. I want to see what this series is capable of. Just weird pacing continues, nothing out of the ordinary for the series. So whatever, ultimately, let's just see this game play out and have a good time with it if we can. Regardless of if it's ending or not, just forget about that for now. Let's just enjoy this and see what this guy's capable of. I'm excited. Let's see it. Altar of the Flame, Chapter 29, Warrior of Wind. Yeah, it's about this side character fighting. He's cool. I forget his name. Sorry. It's about as cool as you can get for a chapter about a side character fighting in a series that's about to get axed. But it was cool. I liked Oter's entrance at the end, at least. That's cool. But beyond that, it was fine. I didn't really feel a whole lot towards it, but it was neat. Cool art. Still a little bit of weird paneling here and there, but hey, it got a little better as throughout the course of this run, which is cool. Cool to see improvement. Not a lot to say about this one in particular, but next week I'll probably have more to say about, because Oter, a character I do somewhat care about at least, is gonna do something. Not a bad chapter by any means, but it's just nothing super special. Alright, that's gonna do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 1. Get used to that one. This was a really good issue, actually. I thought it was firing on all cylinders. Pretty much every chapter was pretty damn good. Which actually did make it quite challenging when picking chapter of the week. But, as always, I figured it out. And my chapter of the week this week goes to Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 13, Acceptance. Maybe a bit of a surprise, I don't know, but this, I think, impacted me the most this week. There was some really good ones. I even kind of considered Hima-Ten, but didn't quite get there for me. It was really good. I was really surprised by it, but surprise shouldn't equal chapter of the week, I don't think. But this, through and through, I love that tension building. I love the conflict brewing. I love the feeling I got reading this chapter from start to finish. It took you on a roller coaster, and it ended with something really unexpected and a cool moment with a legacy character too to add to that. But even without that moment, which is ultimately it's just kind of fan service, sorta, kinda, whatever. It would have been an amazing chapter regardless. Really good stuff. Again, a lot of other great stuff. Came very close with a bunch of other things, but Modulo came out on top this week. Good job. Next week, we got issue number 2 for 2026, and we got Sakamoto Days on the cover. So that's always cool to see. I feel like it hasn't been too long since we had another Sakamoto Days cover, but hey, I'm down for another one. That's fine. And that's all I got for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Tell me your favorite chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, anything you want to tell me about. And remember, you can also become a channel member at 2 tiers. First being the Nice Prisoner tier, which gets you access to new videos early and your name put in the credits sequence. Or you can become a Super Nice Prisoner and get everything I just mentioned and also your name read out loud right now. So thank you to my Super Nice Prisoners, DJ Tengen, Hexanen Zijiden, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmer 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, and Iliads. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce that in a comment. I'm not Iliades. Let me know. But thank you all for the support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.